Welcome, children. Today, I, Ruby Sharma, will be taking up your next chapter on mathematics, algebraic expressions. Okay. So, algebraic expression is your 12th chapter in your textbook. So, before we know about what are algebraic expression, we must know about the variables and the constants which are used in algebraic expressions. Now, in arithmetic, we have been studying about numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Also, we have studied about decimals, about integers, about fractions, about rational numbers also. So all these numbers, they have a fixed value. Whereas in algebra, we use letters of the English alphabet, the small letters, that is X, Y, Z, A, B, C, D, or P, Q, R, S, T, anything we can use. So these take up any values, and hence they are also called variables. So we must first understand what are constants and variables before we learn about expressions. So in arithmetic, these values, which include also decimals, it may be fractions, as I told you before, they have fixed value. They do not change their value. So they are called constants. And these alphabets, the small letter of the English alphabets, can take up any values, and hence they are called variables. So thus, how do we define constant and variables? A constant is a symbol which can take up any, which has a fixed value. Like we have 3 minus 2, an integer. Similarly, we have minus 5 by 6, half, a decimal number 1.6. So all these values are fixed, and hence they are called constants. Whereas a variable, it is also known as literal, is a quantity whose value is not fixed, and it can take various values. For example, when we say 4x, x can take up any value. So for x is equal to 1, we have 4x is what? 4 into 1, that's 4. For x is equal to 2, we have 4 into 2 is equal to 8. So in place of x, we have put the value of 2, and we get 4 into 2, 8. Similarly, for x is equal to 3 by 5, we get 4 into 3 by 5, that's 12 by 5. And similarly, we can find out for different values of x, the value of 4x. And we see 4x keeps on changing its value dependent on the value of x. So x is called a variable as it takes up various values. So now we come to expressions. Now expressions we have, I've given you numerical expression and algebraic expression so that you understand algebraic expression better. Now you have been doing 4 plus 5 in the primary classes. So here what are we doing exactly? We are adding 5 to 4. That means there are two constants, 4 and 5, which are added, and that expression 4 plus 5 is formed. I've given you some other numerical expression example like 7 minus 2, 67 divided by 8, 3 into 9. So these are constants which are separated by fundamental basic operations of mathematics. Then I've given you 2 into 40 divided by 5 plus 3. Here several operations are involved. Or the statement wise, when we say 3 added to 2, so when we express that statement as an expression, we write 3 plus 2. So now since you know what a numerical expression, it'll be easy for you to understand algebraic expression. So here what do? We have constants and literals or variables which are separated by the fundamental operations like plus, minus, multiplication and division. So when we say x plus 5, it is an algebraic expression where the variable x and the constant 5 are added. The next one, 3y minus 7, we have 3 multiplied by y. So in multiplication, we generally do not write the multiplication sign. So in algebra, it is obvious that 3y is 3 into y. So 3 into y minus 7. So 7 is subtracted from 3y. So that is also an algebraic expression. Similarly, I've given you some other examples, xy, 4p by 2, x squared y. All these are algebraic expressions. Then the statement 3 more than y, you can write as an algebraic expression in the form of 3 plus y. Similarly, we have 6 less than q. When we say 6 less than q, how do we write the algebraic expression? Q minus 6. So I hope you have understood what are algebraic expressions. Now we move on to how are expressions formed. So we have observed what? Before that, the variables and constants are combined using operations of addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division to form algebraic expression. So here if you're asked, how is 4x plus 5? This expression is formed. So what are you going to write? That 4x plus 5 is obtained by first multiplying x by 4. And then the constant 5 is added to the product 4x. So the variable here is x and the constant here is 5. Now you may wonder why 4 is not a constant here. As I told you before, this is completely dependent on the value of x. So 4x will keep on changing if the value of x changes. So hence here the constant is 5 which will not change. So here constant is 5 and the variable is x in this case. So in this 3p minus 10, how is this expression formed? So here we say the variable p is multiplied by 3. And then 10 is subtracted from the product 3p. So here variable is p and the constant is 10 here in this case. So the expression is obtained by multiplying variable p by 3 first and then subtracting 10 from the product. So variable is p, constant is 10. So I think you've got the basic idea. Let's go through some more examples. X squared. X squared is also an expression. And how is it obtained? It is obtained by multiplying the variable x by itself. So x squared is x into x. So when we multiply x by itself, we get x to the power, this is known as x to the power of 2 or x squared. So we can write x squared, we can say x squared or x to the power of 2. And variable in this case is x squared. The variable here is x squared. sorry, the variable in x square is x. And what is the constant here? None. There is no constant here, only variable. Similarly, in this expression, the variable is x and there is no constant. And how do we obtain this? By multiplying, this is called x cube or x to the power of 3. And this is obtained by multiplying x into x into x. Now the next one, expression 2y square. So this is also an expression. How is it obtained? Here first, we multiply the variable y by itself. That means multiplying y by y. And we get y square. And then y square is multiplied by 2 to obtain 2y square. So you must understand how each expression is formed and what are the fundamental basic operations involved in the forming of the expression. And here we get the variable y and we have no constant here. And by now I hope you understood why we don't have a constant here, isn't it? Because this 2y squared, this value will be dependent entirely on the value of y. So we have variable y, constant, none. Now I have the last expression, 4xy minus 7. So how do you obtain this expression? First, we multiply the variable x by another variable. Here, two different variables are involved. So we multiply x by another variable, y, and we get the product xy, which is then multiplied by 4. And then we subtract 7 from this product, 4xy. So here, the variables involved are x and y. There are two variables here. So can you see x and y have written here? And constant here is 7. Is it clear? You don't have to write minus 7 in this case. Whether it is added, subtracted, doesn't matter. In this expression, the constant that is involved is 7. So we write constant is 7. So I hope you have understood what are expressions, algebraic expressions. Please write the whole thing in your maths copy. Write algebraic expression chapter 12 and write all this and see if you have understood. If there's any problem, you can get back to me. Till then, bye-bye.